My name is Moss. I work as an entertainer. I sing and play guitar. I work on cruise ships with my wife, Tracy. And we were working on a ship called the Oceanus, which was cruising off the coast of South Africa and doing those waters in the Indian Ocean. And then in August 1991, we set sail from a town called East London, heading for Durban, and we went into a really bad storm. Then finally got dark, it was night time, and we were about to go and have dinner when we were in really heavy waves, and suddenly all the lights went out. And I kept on saying, well, look, the power will come back on, and I'm sure they'll make an announcement just now. And I kept on wondering myself, why is there no announcement? Why is no one saying anything? Where's the officers? And I found the cruise director and the captain. They were talking, and I said to them, what's happening? And they said, the captain said, look, we're going to abandon the ship. We could feel the ship starting to tip over onto its starboard side, the right-hand side, and the floor was starting to go down like that. I left the lounge. I said to Tracy, stay in here, try and keep people calm. And as I came down towards Dionysus deck, which is actually D deck.
I'm right down below now. I'm actually on N deck, nearest deck. There's water everywhere. It looks like it's flowing in reasonably fast. It's sloshing about from side to side. So I guess we're going down.
We ran back up the stairs. I went and found the cruise director and I said, listen, we're sinking. So we went into the lounge and thought, well, we need to try and start getting people off this ship. So we started organizing passengers, and we went around to them in small groups and said, look, we're going to start to evacuate the ship. We're just going to do groups of 20 at a time. We were just making this up. I mean, I don't know where we came with that number. We said, we'll do 20 guests at a time. We'll take you out of the lounge and out to a lifeboat. They lowered the lifeboats, but we couldn't fix the lifeboats in place properly. And you're supposed to lower the lifeboats to this one deck, and then you fix them to the side of the deck, because as the ship's rolling around, the lifeboat's swinging out and crashing back in, and swinging out and crashing onto the side of the ship, and bits of the lifeboat are breaking off. And then by the time we'd launched all the lifeboats on the starboard side, the right-hand side of the ship, and the ship was tipping over more and more that way, we then went to launch the port side ones on the left-hand side, but the ship was so tipped over that the port side boats wouldn't go down. So all we could do was we tried to release them and left it tied up to the ship and just left it floating in the water. So we thought, right, we can't do any more, let's go to the bridge.
Frequency, can you help over? National Sea Rescue need a spare channel. We're on channel 16 at the moment.
These ships radioed back to the South African authorities, and then they tried to organize helicopters, which they did, and they had to fly to us, but it took them nearly 4 hours to get to us. Is that as the helicopter was hovering overhead, then they would lower the Navy diver on a cable, but the more they lowered him, the more the wind blew him, and he started to swing from side to side. And so that's where I then went out onto the foredeck. I left the bridge, and I found some rope tied around my waist, and I tied it around the railing of the ship, because the deck was so steep, it was like that. And eventually I managed to catch one of the Navy divers, pull him down, and then pull the second one down. The two Navy divers said, look, we can see from the air that this ship is in bad trouble, and they said it's going to sink. It could sink very quickly. We think we're going to lose people today. We have to try and get everybody off in the helicopter harness. We got lifted off, and then we left the Navy diver on the ship for a few minutes more, and then we lifted him off into the helicopter, and we flew away, and it was all over.